Hello. Good evening, students. Good evening, Kirtana. Good evening, Nandita, Napita, Munisha, Tanuj, Kirtana, Jivita Prabhu, Nourain. Nourain, I don't understand. Nourain, I think, new one, I think. Nourain, are you new student? First time you are attending my class? Tabassum, I think she was there. Jivita was there, Kirtana was there, Shashank was also there, Spandana was there. Yeah, Noora or I should say like that. Na? Abhigna Shetty. Yeah, she's also a new student. Kirtana, you are a new student. Okay, good. Blessed evening. Yeah, you too. Blessed evening to all of you. Harshit, even you are a new student. Jivita Prabhu. Okay, fine. So all new students. Anyway, very nice that you all have logged in. Listen, from today we are going to start off with, okay, Jivita Prabhu, I understand. And I'll introduce myself. I am Dr. Hemlata. Good evening, Neha, dear. Good evening, Ma. Good evening, dear Akshara. Nice name, Akshara. Good evening, Akshara. Good evening. Srishti, good evening. You are also a new student. No. I think Srishti was there earlier. Okay. So, Srishti, good evening. Okay, let's start. Okay, one more minute is there. Listen, I will tell you something. From today, now we are a old student. I know, I thought it, right? Today we are going to start with the syllabus. Is it fine? All of you? You are old student. I know. Old in the sense, few months, 1 month back, we have all met, right? Good. So we are going to start off with the syllabus today. I will start with one of the, ma'am, last class we left something. Can we finish that? Okay, I will do that. You please remind me. But I want to start with a new thing because so many children are new now. Anyway, tell me what is that? I think we stopped at virus. I think. Did we do that? Neha, you're excited. Very good. Good. It should be exciting moment. Lytic life cycle. Okay. Okay, Napita. Lysogenic life cycle I have to just give you, right? Okay, good. Napita, good. Okay, we'll again come back to that. I'll just give you something in that virus, finish it up. Then, because suppose some students who have not seen my videos, they'll get scared. Oh my God, so much complicated is biology, right? Actually, it's very nice biology. It's nothing complicated here. And everything we are studying very happily. Begin with the syllabus so that what happens is we will not be lagging at all. Okay, is it fine? We are going to start with that. So, lytic and lysogenic life cycle. Curious to know the first chapter, ma'am? Okay, Srishti, very good. Listen, I will do like this. Okay, all of you listen to me. When I will start the syllabus, I will start with little common things. I will not start with anything which you need to really struggle to understand. Okay. Therefore, I want to start with the chapter different one, not first unit one. I'm not going to start with. I'll start with the plants which are common, right? And I'll give you option. I will start with the plant morphology, or I can start with the human physiology. Two options. Human physiology is more interesting. Most of them they say, ma'am, physiology. Plant morphology, what happens is it's very easily available. Okay. So I'm planning to start with mainly plant physiology, plant morphology, because by the time we finish that, it takes a long time. And moreover, they're all available next to your house. You can grow them. You understand that? Let's start with the chapter plant angiospermic morphology. Okay, is it fine? So let me start off with the chapter that is morphology of angiosperms or morphology of flowering plants. Okay, is it fine? Nabita, we will start with a new one. Okay, when again I start with the virus, we do it again. Okay, is it fine? Okay, let's begin with the chapter today. That is about the morphology of flowering plants. Morphology, what is morphology? It is the external appearance of any organism. We call it as a morphology. So just listen. Okay, so many other Monisha is there. Nice, cute face. All of you, I said, keep your face. There is one Prakriti face is seen like a cat. Nice, very nice pictures. That's a small baby girl's face. No, you all still have very nice. Okay, good. And I told all of you to keep your DP of your face. Na? It's all very cute. Some of you are already you have kept it. Others I couldn't see. Yeah, Spandana is there. Neha has put one fish. Likita has put her brother along with her. Nandita, I have seen that time. Right? Glapita and there. Tanuj is there. Yeah, good. Nice smile. Shashank is there. Jivita is there. Kirtana is there. Harshit is very serious looking. Right? Jitesh has put some comedian face. Kushal Gowda was there that time only. Okay. All of your faces are very cute. Okay. Ab maza aayega. We will study nicely. Okay. Done. It's your sister, Prakriti. Okay, fine. Ma'am, I don't know how to keep the DP on. I don't know, dear Shashank. You ask any of your friends. Ma'am, it is her sister's face. Okay, good. Keep your faces. Right? At least I can see that I can talk to you directly, feeling that okay, you are in front of me. Okay, fine. Next time you try. Okay. Hello, ma'am. I am a new student. Rifa, very good. Hi, how are you? Rifa, nice. So you people are still logging in, I think. So let's begin with the syllabus. So I'll start out with the morphology of flowering plants. Okay, because that is the first thing. It's a big chapter. So let me start off with the chapter. And listen, while giving the chapter, I'll give you some points for board, some points for NEET. Okay, so that what happens there and then, whenever I give, you make some star mark and write NEET, write board, 1 mark, 2 mark, 5 mark, all that. Will you do that? Is it fine? Ravi Surya. Hi, Ravi Surya. Ravi Surya is a new student because I never heard his name. Prakriti Srishti Tabassum Abhigna Shetty. Okay. Ashrita Tanuj Sujai Norain. Okay. Chandana. Ravi Surya. Yeah, you are a new student. Good. You got your results? I think so. Did you all get your results? Can I know your percentage or something, or A and B grade you will get? No? So some of them they got, I feel. Like CBSE or ICSE. Oh, very good. Abhigna Shetty, 94%. Those who got it can tell me. Okay, good. Chandana got 91%. Napita 90%, 90.5. Kritika 95. Ravi Surya 90. Okay, Harshita 86. Wow, all are very intelligent children. Yes, Spandana 96.2. That's a great year. Very good. Jitesh has got 89.4. Wow, you are all very intelligent then. Nice. Nice to see you all. 86%. So all are very intelligent. Keep it up. I want you to get 100 out of 100 in every subject in PUC. Is it fine? You all will have to be very seriously learning it. Okay? Then take it very seriously. You will really do it. And let's have a very good result in NEET examination. Okay? Fine. Monisha, we'll start off, right? So angiosperm morphology. Now, first let me ask you, what do you mean by angiosperms? If I say angiosperms, it becomes such a big word, right? You will not know, oh my God, what is this angiosperm? Okay, listen. Any flowering plant can be called as an angiosperm, and they are very modern plants. Right now, whatever you have got outside, there are angiosperms. Like mango is there, champaka flower is there, grass is there. Everything is a angiosperm, right? They are all flowering plants. See, I'm explaining about morphology of flowering plants. But actually, when you talk about flowering plants, even gymnosperms come into this, right? Gymnosperms also are considered as a flowering plants, but they have naked seeds. They don't have the covering over the seed of the fruit wall, right? So let me explain you how they differ from the gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay. Okay, keep observing now. Morphology of flowering plants and flowering plants. Okay. Now, how we call it the flowering plants? So whenever I say flowering plants, we have two types of plants. First ones are called as gymnosperms. Second one are called as angiosperms. Actually, gymnosperms are those in which, first I'll show you angiosperm, then you can identify the difference. Okay. So if this is an angiospermic seed, imagine this is seed. Seed will have seed coat, testa and tegmen, right? Above this, there will be a fruit wall. Okay, this is a fruit wall. Like this. Okay, this is called as a pericarp. Pericarp is nothing but the fruit wall. And this is the seed. And this is seed coat. Okay. So, fruit wall surrounds the seed coat. Okay, it is nourishing also. This is the angiospermic character. We call them as covered seeded plants. Covered seeded plants, angiosperms. But in contrast to this, whenever you observe the gymnosperms, whenever you observe gymnosperm on the leaf only, this is a leaf, you will get a female gamete like this, and directly these are the seeds with seed coat. No fruit wall will be around them, right? They are directly produced over the leaves. This is the gymnosperm. This we call as the female flower, or we call this as the sporophyll. Sporophyll refers to the leaf having the gamete structures. Okay. So this and this are different. Here directly seed is born on the leaf and it is naked. It doesn't have a fruit wall. You can see here. But in angiosperms, you have the seed. Over that there is a seed coat, normal character, but fruit wall is covering this. Right? This is the structure of angiospermic fruit. Okay. Now, morphology refers to external appearance. Study of external appearance is called the morphology. Did you get it? So, external appearance of any organism is morphology. Right? Angiospermic plant, I told you. Right? See, whenever I write any word on the board or any heading or sentence, you should know its meaning. It is my duty to make you understand. Did you understand this? Okay. First, we will write the points on morphology of angiosperms, 1 or 2 lines. Then we'll go further to the typical angiospermic plant. Is it fine? You all have a notebook with you, pen, pencil, eraser, everything you keep it with you. Is it fine? Okay, let's begin. Write down. Morphology of angiospermic or flowering plants. Morphology of flowering plants. Okay, written. Write the introduction. Morphology is a branch of science branch of biological science that deals with external appearance of an organism. External appearance of an organism. Are you writing Ravi Surya? Ravi also means Surya. Surya also means Surya. Okay, very good. Nicely. Okay, have you written it? Okay, next write angiosperms. These are the modern plants. These are the modern plants that show the presence of fruit wall around seed coat. Fruit wall around seed coat. Okay, done? Okay, fine. Okay, now listen. See, angiospermic flowering plants I'm talking now. These are basically classified into two, monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Monocotyledons refers to having one cotyledon. Dicotyledons have two cotyledons. Can you give me an example for monocotyledonous plants? Any example for monocotyledonous plants? Rice grains. Good, Abhigna. Correct. It is rice, maize. Okay. What about mustard? Corn. Also correct. What about mustard? Mustard. Black color mustard. Mustard seed. No, mustard. Mustard is the sasve. Is it a monocot or dicot? Monocot. Oh my goodness. Okay, listen. Friends, you need to learn it properly. Only Ravi Surya is saying dicotyledons. It's a dicotyledon. Okay, listen. I will start with morphology. At the end of the lecture, you should be in a position to distinguish between monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Is it fine? Okay. So let me give you the two structures, the diagram of a angiospermic dicot plant and a monocot plant. I'll give you both of the diagrams. Is it fine? Now listen. So coming to the morphology of angiospermic plants or flowering plants, imagine there is a growth of a seed. Okay, you suppose this is the seed. Seed is developing. It will produce, when germination happens, it will produce two outgrowths. One grows that grows downwards is the radicle. One which grows upwards is the plumule. Right? The radicle will grow into the root system. Okay? And plumule will grow into the shoot system. Okay? I am showing you this. This is the germinating seed. It will produce two outgrowths. Lower one is radicle, upper one is the plumule. Okay? Radicle grows into root system and plumule grows into a shoot system. Okay? So, typical dicot plants I'll show you. The same way you have to draw it later. First you listen to me, observe how I am drawing. This will be a 5-mark question to you in the board. Typical dicotyledonous plant. Okay. See, dicotyledonous the means it will have two cotyledons. Whenever you open it, you will get two cotyledons like this. Here is the embryonic axis. Here are the leaves, cotyledons, these are roots. This is about the dicot seed. But monocot, when you observe, you will get very small diagram. Maize grain I am giving you. Separation. Here is you will get the radicle and the plumule, and here is the seed. Okay, this is a monocot seed. Monocot and dicot, there is a difference. Do you understand this? Now, typical dicot plant I am giving you. The radicle gives rise to the root system. I am drawing the root system. Okay. This root, whenever I am drawing a radicle in the root system in dicot plants, this will have a major central root. We call it as a primary root that is given out from the radicle as a primary root, right? Then it will in turn produce number of side roots. These are called as secondary roots. In turn, they produce tertiary roots. I hope you are able to understand. This diagram is very important for you. Okay, this is the root system, and this root system in which central one is the primary root. Okay, these are called as the secondary roots. And the further branches are called as the tertiary roots. Okay, this root system I'll write it later. These are called as the tertiary roots. And this kind of root system is found in all dicot plants, and we call this as the tap root system. Okay, this is a tap root system. Alright, there is a central primary root developed from the radicle directly. This will go and penetrate the ground, right? Help in penetrating the ground and anchoring the plant, right? The secondary and tertiary roots are produced from the sides. They will help in giving more extra balance or mechanical support, right? They grow sideways. This grows straight down. Okay. Now, coming to the root system, it is the characteristic you have to learn. Root develop from the radicle of the germinating seed. First character. Okay. Second character is root grows towards the ground or gravity, gravitational pull. Therefore, we call that as the positively geotropic character. Understand one after the other, new words and whatever words I'm giving, you have to remember them. Right? So, root characteristics, I told you, develop from radical. Second point is it shows positive geotropism. Geotropism refers to growing towards the gravity. Then it grows towards water. Imagine there is a plant and nearby there is a water channel. This will produce a root still here. That means it grows towards water. So it's called positively hydrotropic. Hydrotropic or hydrotropism. But it grows away from the light. What do we call it? It is called negative phototropism. Okay. Root characteristics are all these. First is root is grown from the radicle of the germinating seed. Second one, roots show positive hydrotropism and positive geotropism. They grow away from the light. They are negatively phototropic. This is the root character. Now, this root's function, what it will do? It will help in penetration, fixing the plant body, and then root will be having very thin, you can't see them in this, they are called root hairs, unicellular root hairs that we have. They help in absorbing water and minerals from the ground. Okay, and they conduct it upwards. These are all the characteristics of roots. Do you understand this? Okay, write this now. Ma'am, what is that written? Ma'am, we cannot see her. Can you see now? Hello? Tanuj, before. Now you can see now. You can see, right? Okay, fine. Good. Okay, write down. Typical dicot plant. Heading, 5-mark question at the top. Typical dicot plant, 5-mark question in the board. Directly I started with the syllabus, okay? Write down. Dicot plants possess 2 cotyledons. Dicot plants possess 2 cotyledons. 2 cotyledons. Next point. Plant shows 2 parts. First one, root system and shoot system. Root system and shoot system. Next, root system. Root is the underground part of the plant. Root is the underground part of the plant. And it develops from where it develops from? Which part of the germinating seed? Develops from, come on, answer. Radicle, very good. Radicle of the germinating seed, right? Develops from the radicle of germinating seed. Good. Radical, CAL allappa, CLE. Radical, CAL and the chemistry barte. Positive radical, negative radical adala. CLE, radical. Kirtana, gotaita? Did you understand? Radical. Okay, it's okay. Learn it, no issues. Okay. Radical of the germinating seed. Written? Next. Next point. The root system shows, first one, positive hydrotropism, and then what? Positive hydrotropism and positive geotropism. Hydrotropism and positive geotropism. Good. Yeah. That is, you write the meaning there. So in exam also, no, biology is such a subject where you want to describe it. So write, that is, roots grow towards gravity and towards water. You write the meaning there. In exam, don't keep it up, madam will understand. No, you will have to show you are making understand. I have to understand that you know it, right? Grow towards gravity and grow towards water. Are you writing? Good. Next, they are negatively phototropic. They are negatively phototropic. Negatively phototropic. That is, grow away from light. Abhigna, thigmotropism is different. Thigmo refers to, listen all of you, don't confuse yourself. Any movement by touch is called thigmo. Thigmo refers to touch, right? It is not at all thigmotropic. There are very few plants like Mimosa pudica show any touch they will close. Okay. Chemotropism also don't write. Chemicals and all. See, only three things I am saying. Don't confuse yourself. What is required for the board and main exam I am giving you. Don't confuse by adding new things into it. Okay. You are good, I know it. But what is required for PUC board and your NEET examination, I'm giving you. Okay. Don't mix up the things. If you say ask thigmotropism, I start explaining, others get confused. Let's not do it. Right? Go to the subs, direct, hit the bullseye, right? Subject only, right? Which is required. Other time you may have to discuss all that, right? Radar negatively phototropic means grow away from light. Okay. Next, functions of roots. Functions of roots. See, these are all 2-mark questions. Characters of roots. Functions of roots, separately 2-mark questions. Right at the side, 2 mark means 4 points you should write. Minimum 2, better you write 4. First point, roots help in fixation of the plant body to the substratum. Fixation of plant body to the substratum. Underline fixation. Use that highlighter pen will be there, no, that you use fixation, underline it or highlight it. Fixation of plant body to the substratum. Second point, roots help in penetration. Roots help in penetration. Third one, unicellular hairs called root hairs. Unicellular hairs called root hairs take part in absorption of water and minerals from the ground. Water and minerals from the ground. Then fourth point. What is the fourth point left? Which is the fourth point? 4 functions I told you. fixation, absorption, penetration, and right on. Roots help in conducting water and minerals in upward direction. Conduction of water and minerals in upward direction. Done it? Okay. Now you have to draw the diagram of the root, but above that you leave the place. I'll just draw both of them. Then I'll show you how to finish the drawing properly. Okay. Okay. This part is little half seen, so let me completely draw it properly. I will erase all these things and I will draw fully again. Okay. So I'm talking about a dicot plant. Dicot plant. Okay, typical dicot plant. Example is Brassica gensea. Brassica gensea. Gensea is a species name. Brassica is a genus name. Okay, always you have to write two names. One is genus, one is species name. Okay, so let me give you the plant. This is the root system I'm drawing. If you cannot see down, I will draw it slightly upwards. This is the root system. These are the secondary roots, tertiary roots, like this. Okay, this is the root system. We call this as the primary root. Next branch is called as the secondary roots. Each further branches are called tertiary roots. Further branching, this is the tertiary root, this is the quaternary root, and we call this as the taproot system. So dicots contain taproot system. Okay, later I'll give you this difference between dicot and monocot roots. Now let's talk about the aerial part. Right, these are all ground portions. Okay, here and now you have soil and water and other things. So aerially you get the shoot system. This is the shoot or the stem. On the stem you get some light separations called the nodes. In between you get internodes. These are called as nodes. Between the two nodes what you get is an internode. Okay, and here you will get the leaves. As I'm talking about the brassica leaf, it will be somewhat of this kind. Somewhat irregular it will be, and it will be of this shape. Okay, this is the brassica leaf. Brassica gensea is nothing but mustard. It will be like this. It's a brassica leaf, and as you go up, the leaves become smaller. And see how I'm drawing. You cannot draw like one any leaf. Mustard leaves are like this only. Okay. Then as you go up, you get the fruits. Right. When you observe the fruits, they'll be small like this. And still further, you'll get the apical bud. Here you'll get the flowers. Flowers will be somewhat like this. Actually, they'll be having 4 sepals and petals together. Okay. And here are the anthers. 1 or 2 flowers I'm showing you here. Like this, and here you will get the buds. And here is the apical bud. This is the bud. Okay. A total plant I have drawn here. Right? You will have to draw the same way. Don't change the diagram. Okay. So this is the node and this is the internode. In between, whatever you get is internode. And here you will get small buds also. These buds which are grown at the sides, these are called as the lateral buds or axillary buds. Axillary bud. And this is the leaf helping for photosynthesis. And these are the fruits. This is the fruit. So fruits are first formed, you know, they are the old ones. Then here is the flower. This is the typical flower. I'll draw flower later. And the one at present at the tip, this is called as the apical or the terminal bud. Did you get it? This is the whole thing is shoot system. This is the Brassica gentiana plant. The drawing with the labelings carry 5 marks. Right? Just drawing labeling, just one line explanation. That's all. Not so much details of the root system also. Just root system is showing taproot system. That's it. Shoot system is having stem, then nodes and internodes, axillary buds and apical bud, growing regions, leaves on either side, helping for photosynthesis. Then the flowers, which are sexually reproducing organs, they produce fruits after fertilization, and apical bud helps in the growth at the tip. Axillary buds help in growing into a branch. Okay, the drawing and labeling is a 5-mark question. Will you do that? Okay, let's see. You would draw it, right? The heading typical dicot plant. Example Brassica gentiana. Did you see the same way you draw the leaves? And please spell the example. Brassica, B-R-A-S-S-I-C-A, Brassica, J-U-N-C-E-A, gentiana. I repeat it. If it's not clear, I will write it properly again. Okay, this is clear. J-U-N-C-E-A, gentiana. Brassica gentiana. Is it fine? Is it fine? Example? Okay, done. So write the heading typical dicot plant and draw this diagram. I'll give you. Don't finish very fast. Happily you draw diagram. Take your own time and draw it because this is a very important diagram for you. It should look like same, right? Leaves and all you don't show something like people tree leaves and all. Same leaves you should draw. Are you drawing? Yeah, draw, and 5-mark question means you see how you have to draw. When college starts, I'm going to check your drawings and all. Okay? Or in Google Classroom, they will check your homework. How many of you are very good in drawing? In biology, you need not to be artist, okay? You have to just draw okay diagram. Manisha, you are good in drawing, okay? Once we will see all your drawings, okay? Nisarga also is saying very good. Srishti is also good in drawing. That's very nice. So many children are there who are good in drawing. Then let me see. When college reopens, I'm going to ask you. See, leaf is slightly swollen and round at the tip. Can you see that? Slightly roundish or slightly, only part is tip as having some point. Did you finish drawing? If you finished, you should tell me. But you take time, I'm telling you. Don't be in hurry and finish something here and there. You should not finish. You take your time and draw it properly. Show veins and mainlets in the leaves properly. Okay. You're done? Okay, done. All of you are finished. Everybody is still drawing. If you are drawing, no issues, you tell me, madam, still I am drawing. Done. Nandita is saying done. Completed. Sharavi is saying completed. Not yet finished. Okay, Rifa, you take time. Draw it. Manisha is saying done, ma'am. Okay, Nandita. I want all of you, listen, all of you, one more thing. Many of our students who are very intelligent also, they lose marks for the drawing. Right? To get the ranks and all, you should have very nice drawings. Done. I'm waiting for Rifa to complete. Rifa, once she finishes, we'll start. Points I'll give you on this. This is a 5-mark question. Okay, done. Okay, listen. Write down. Write down. Shoot system. Sorry, root system. Have you written it? No, no. First you are writing typical dicot plant. No, right. A typical dicot plant of Brassica gentiana. A typical dicot plant of Brassica gentiana. In the bracket, write mustard plant. Brassica gentiana, you write it as a mustard plant. Mustard plant shows following parts. First one, root system. It shows taproot system. It shows taproot system. It possesses a central primary root. Central primary root that grows deep inside the ground and help in penetration. Primary root that grows deep inside and help in penetration. Then next one. Primary root originates from the radicle. Primary root originates from the radicle. Next one. Primary root produce side branches. Side branches called secondary roots or the lateral roots. Side branches called secondary roots or the lateral roots, comma. In turn, they produce tertiary roots. In turn, they produce tertiary roots. Are you all 38 members writing? All 38 students are writing? Good, good. Let me see who are all there. Manisha is saying, okay, fine. Ashraya, is there? Ashraya? Where is Ashraya? Not Ashraya, Akshara. It's Akshara. Akshara is there. Dhatri, I am not seeing. Dhatri, you are there. Jitesh, Kushal, Kushal Gowda. Are you there, Kushal Gowda? Hello, Kushal. Kushal is not seen. Sharadi is there. Spandana. Tanay Kumar. Who is Tanay Kumar? Say yes. Kushal Gowda, Tanay Kumar, Sujay. Where are you all? Tanuj. Sujay is there. Shri Raksha is there. Shri Raksha. Okay, good. Kushal, where are you, Kushal? Kushal Gowda. Kushi. Kushal Gowda. Hi, you are there. Are you drawing? Did you finish drawing? Okay, good. Okay, next you write. Next, right? Shoot system. Shoot system. Good, Kushal Gowda. You are there. You also respond in between, okay? Because you are very rarely responding. Right on. Next, shoot system. It is the aerial part of the plant. Okay, good, Kushal. It's a aerial part of the plant. And possess stem that supports leaves, flowers and fruits. Stem that supports leaves, flowers and fruits. Then I repeat, Monisha. Shoot system is aerial part of the plant. It possesses stem that supports leaves, flowers and fruits. Monisha, is it fine? I repeated. Monisha, fine. Okay. Next, right? First, next point, right? Stem possess constricted parts called nodes. Constricted parts called nodes. Nodes and all you have seen, no? Whenever you observe sugar cane, now you get nodes, hard ones. Those are the nodes. Nodes and internodes. Nodes and internodes. Then next, buds. Buds, B-U-D-S, buds. Buds are the growing regions of the plant. Buds are the growing regions of the plant. Node, N-O-D-E, node. Are yaar, you have drawn diagram, no? I showed it, no? See it in the board. See it on the board. Node, N-O-D-E. See, it is written, node. An internode, I-N-T-E-R-N-O-D-E. Shashank, you saw? Have you drawn the diagram? Then you would have written node and internode also, no? Have you drawn the diagram, Shashank? Nodes and internodes are written, no? Okay. Next. Buds. Buds are the growing regions of the stem. Buds are the growing regions of the stem. Next, there are two types of buds. There are two types of buds. First one, axillary buds or lateral buds. Axillary buds. Have you drawn them all? Just once again, check the diagram. Axillary buds. You check the axillary buds. Can you see the axillary buds at the sides? Axillary buds or lateral buds. Underline. Good, good, Nandita. These buds can produce. These buds can produce either leaves or branches. Either leaves or branches or flowers or fruits. Either leaves, branches, flowers or fruits. I repeat, axillary buds can grow into, I am repeating there, axillary buds can grow into leaves, comma, branches, comma, flowers, or fruits. Finish writing. Or fruits. Done? Okay. Next, write the heading. Say heading apical bud or the terminal buds. Apical bud or the terminal bud. These are the growing regions of the stem. These are the growing regions of the stem. Growing regions of the stem that are present at the tip. Present at the tip and increase the length of the stem. Growing regions of the stem present at the tip and increase the length of stem. Done? Length of stem. Right? Next. Next, right? Leaves. Okay. Leaves, the function of leaf, you can tell, no? You can answer. Function of leaf. Photosynthesis. Very good. Right out. Leaves are the green flattened parts of the plant. Leaves are, okay, good, good. Leaves are the green flattened. Good, good. Right, Likita. Correct. Put back, please. Leaves are the green flattened. Very good. Yeah, you're all very intelligent. But you have to write all these things first. Green flattened parts of the plant that take part in photosynthesis. That take part in photosynthesis. That take part in photosynthesis. In the bracket you write definition for photosynthesis, right? An anabolic process. Anabolism means something is built, right? An anabolic process in which glucose is formed. Glucose is formed using carbon dioxide and water. Using carbon dioxide and water. I repeat first, let me finish. Okay. I repeat photosynthesis, you write in the bracket. It is an anabolic process. Anabolic, andre ANABOLIC. Anabolic is something is built. Anabolic process in which glucose is synthesized or produced. Glucose is synthesized or produced using carbon dioxide and water. Using carbon dioxide and water. Comma, in presence of sun energy. In presence of sun energy. in chloroplasts. In chloroplasts. Written. Okay, Dhatri, I told you. In chloroplasts. Will you finish? Okay. Next, right? Flower. Okay. Details of flower I'll tell you later. Right now, only what is required, only that much variety. Okay. Okay. So here you can see these are the leaves. Leaves are preparing food through photosynthesis. So how is photosynthesis done? I told you. It uses carbon dioxide, water, uses sunlight. It's a light within the chloroplast. You can prepare glucose. This is photosynthesis. Okay, this is the function of mainly leaf. Okay, but what about the flowers? Flower function. Flowers help in what is that? First listen, then you write. Flowers are normally the organs for sexual reproduction. So how do you write it? We call them as the modified vegetative shoot meant for sexual reproduction. Right? Details we are not going to study. Just first write this. Then we'll study the other details. Okay? Write down flowers. These are the modified vegetative shoot. Flowers are the modified vegetative shoot meant for sexual reproduction. Modified vegetative shoot meant for sexual reproduction. This shoot only will become flower. Okay. Next. Next, right? Fruits. Fruits. Fruits are the mature, ripened ovary that protects the seed and nourishes it. That protects the seed and nourishes it. So what did you write? Fruits are the mature ripened ovary that protects the seed and nourishes it. Nourishing means nutrition. Okay? Fine. Okay, now we'll go to the monocot plant model. Right now it is a dicot plant I give you. Let me give you one monocot plant, one dicot plant, then you can distinguish both of them. Is it fine? Monocot, you said the rice is there, the maize is there, and your wheat, all of them are monocots. Okay, I'll give you some monocot plant. So then you can compare it very easily. Okay, first little bit I'll explain you here only so that you can compare it later. You can identify the differences later. Okay. So you can see here dicot plants are characterized by having taproot system. Now, this is the first difference. Next, you see the leaves. The leaves will possess something network of veins and nailets like this. Right? This network we call it as the venation. Is called as venation is arrangement of veins and veins. It is normally network. We call it as a reticulate. Dicot plants will have venation which is reticulate. Right now again we'll discuss this, but just for the difference sake I'm giving you. This is the reticulate venation. And the flowers you see, each flower when you observe, this will have either 3, 4 or 5 members like this. Then it will have 4 members, you can see here. Okay, and then there will be a dilation. This we call it as a 4 petals or 4 sepals, or sometimes in other plants you get dicot plant. Generally I am giving you. In this, you get 4 only. In hibiscus and all, you get 5. So most of the dicotyledonous plants will have the flower members which are either 4 or 5. Did you get this? This, what we call it as the dicot plants having the flowers. What is that flower character I told you? The members are either 4 or 5. This we call it as 4 means it's called the tetramerous flowers. See, these are the neat portions. They will ask you this for neat. What is tetramerous character? If there are 5, this is 4. If there are 5, we call it as the pentamerous character. So tetramerous and pentamerous are the characteristic features of dicot plants. Their petals and sepals are either 4 or multiples of 4, 5 or multiples of 5. Right? This is another difference. Right? One difference I told you, root system, I'll explain you how it is. Leaf you show reticulate venation, and the flowers are tetramerous or pentamerous in dicots. Okay. Now when I explain you the monocot plant, you will have to identify the differences. Is it fine? Right. So let me give you a monocot plant. I'll explain you this again. Add one more note at the right below. Note. Important characters of dicots only. Important characters of dicots only. First point, taproot system. Second point, reticulate venation of leaves. Reticulate venation of leaves. No, wait, first you finish this. Reticulate venation of leaves. Third point, tetramerous or pentamerous flowers. So, tetramerous or pentamerous flowers. Did you write this? These are the important characters of dicot plants. And dicot seed, anyway, you know. Okay. Now we are going to talk about the monocot plant. Heading side, heading right. Typical monocot plant. Okay. Typical monocot. You write straight. I have less space here. Monocot plant. Okay. Typical monocot plant, when you write, observe properly, nicely. Whenever you observe the root system, suppose it is growing as a shoot system, here is the root system. After some time, the root will die. The primary root will die. So as the stem is growing, the number of roots are produced on the base of the stem, like this. This will grow in the abundance. As it's not growing from the radicle, all these newly formed roots are called as adventitious roots. This we call it as the adventitious root. Adventitious refers to, what is that? The root that develop other than the radicle. Adventitious roots. They are all growing from the base of the stem. Stem is growing like this, straight. Stem will grow very straight like this. But what about the other things? The roots may be growing from the lower part of the stem. They are all adventitious roots. And all of them, they have the root hairs. And they will have root caps. Even dicots, only primary roots will get it. Suppose in dicots, if you observe, at the root tip, you will get the small cap-like structure which will protect it from the soil injuries. Same way here, in all of them, you will get small root caps. Not very big seen. All of them, right? So these are the bunch of roots. We call this as the fibrous root system. Very important differences. Fibrous root system from the taproot system. This is a major difference. There you get the major root developing from the mainly radicle. Here, these are all growing in bunches with all root hairs all over here. And they are producing the bunch, big bunch. That's called the fibrous root system. Then stem will be straight, more harder than dicot plant, and this will have distinct nodes and internodes. You can see very clearly. In dicots, you cannot see that distinct nodes and internodes. You can see sugarcane, maize, and all. They are very clearly seen. Okay, so example I'm giving you here. This example is Zea mays, M-A-Y-S, is nothing but maize plant. See, always whenever you write biological names, you should underline them separately. Zea mays is nothing but the maize plant. Okay, listen first. Listen first, then you can answer. This is a fibrous root system, right? The roots which are not developing from the radicle are called as adventitious roots. Okay, these stem shows distinct nodes and internodes. Now, whenever I draw leaves, you can see leaves are growing from covering the stem. Okay, they grow like this. You can see here they are covering half the stem, and then they come out of this. Okay, so whenever I draw a leaf, I will cover half of it with the leaves, then they will come down. And these show parallel venation. You can see here, you all know this, but you have to draw it properly. Parallel venation. And I'm showing bending because they'll be straight. They will, because of the wind and all, they just bend down. Okay. Next, like this, all over the plant, you get this kind of character. These are the leaves, which this leaf base, which is covering the stem, is called as sheathing leaf base. This is called as sheathing leaf base. Sheathing is the one that covers. Sheathing leaf base, we call it. Okay. And this is the leaf showing parallel venation. So leaf you have to end here, showing the parallel veins and veinlets. Okay. And it will come down like this. Why? Because of the air current. This is the leaf. Okay. Alright. This is a leaf. And these will be covering the stem. Okay. And the flowers will come in different way here. So observe, I'm drawing maize plant. The fruit will come here. Na? Maize fruit, you will get it like this. Okay. Here you will get number of hairy structures. Okay. This is actually the bunch of flower, which we call it as the female inflorescence. Inflorescence refers to bunch of flowers. Inflorescence. Okay. Female and male are normally different. They are growing in a different place. Right? Like this. But in dicots, you never got it. In dicot, you got the female, the petals like this, and then anthers like this, and also gynoecium like this. This was called as a bisexuality. Right? Both these are male sex organ, these are female sex organ. They are together. Therefore, in dicots, we get bisexuality common. But here you can see male, female is growing here. Males will grow at the tip as a tassel, because the tassel. So if this is a male, you will get the tassel like this. A bunch of male flowers will grow like this. You're seeing maize and sugarcane and all, they'll be growing like this. This is the male inflorescence. Okay, this is always inflorescence. They'll produce mainly bunched flowers. Okay, this is called the male inflorescence. In bunch it is producing. We call this as a tassel. And this we call, this inflorescence we call it as the spadix. I'll tell you all the details later. But these are all neat questions only. Right? I'll explain you them when I come across with them. Those parts, right? Normally in the monocots, the stem will not branch, it will grow straight, right? Like bamboo you see, or rice you see, maize you see. First, when I am explaining you, don't ask me anything. Let me finish. Then when I sit with you, you can ask me the questions. Right now, just keep watching it, what I'm saying, right? Only the apical bud will be growing, and this apical bud stops growing after a certain time. Maize plant, after that, maize will not grow 6 meters, no, it will be very short. Right? So it will end with the male flowers, male inflorescence. Female inflorescence found at the axils. This is the leaf. And nodes and internodes are very distinct. And you can see parallel venation. The veins and veinlets run parallel. When you observe the leaves, if this is the leaf, you can see they run parallel to each other. They will not form network. But whereas if you see the dicot plants, you get the veins and veinlets forming one network, fine network. You have seen this. This is a dipod, this is a monocot plant. This is called parallel venation. This is called the reticulate venation. Did you understand the differences? So once you understand difference only, it will be easy for you to draw. Is it fine? Now you will have to draw and explain about the monocot plant body. Is it fine? Any doubts you ask me? Look at the drawing once, later you draw. Don't draw immediately when I start drawing. Okay, did you observe that? Write heading typical monocot plant and draw the typical monocot plant only plant. Example, you write Zea mays. Zea mays. Any doubts again? Now you can message and show me. Any doubts in this you can ask and now. No, huh? Okay, draw the diagram. Typical monocot plant of Zea mays. Need not be a doubt, discussion also is fine. Interaction I want. If at all you know, you don't know, anything is okay. Sheathing leaf base, did you understand? Whenever you take out the leaf, it will come like covering the stem. Are you drawing the diagram? First you finish drawing because notes time will not be there. You will not get doubts in this. Male, after that it is not visible. Huh? Male inflorescence here. INFLORESCENCE. Inflorescence. Tassel. 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 Is it fine, Shashank? Male inflorescence. It's visible, but the thing is, you have to concentrate on it. Okay. Female inflorescence you are written. It's called spadix. Male inflorescence is called the tassel. Fibrous root system, you just put it in the ground, right? But actually, some part of the roots will come out only, right? This is in the ground. Show a big bunch of roots. They will not be branched. Remember, they are not branched. Single fiber like thing will come out. Is it fine? Are you able to see that? Don't draw the leaves and on side I have drawn. So leaves and all are showing the just differences are given here. Finish drawing. Nabita is saying done. Not able to see what is there after female. Female inflorescence. See, all are inflorescence only. This is inflorescence again. This is spadix. S-P-A-D-I-X. Spadix. Okay. So what you do is, here you write Ziamase, no? Important things. This will be an important thing. Put one star for this. Male inflorescence, put star. Okay. That will be asked in NEET. Is that done? Done. Okay. Finished all of you? Anybody still writing? You please say it. Else I will start off points. Otherwise, you finish drawing and shade them. The soil and all you shade properly. Ma'am, give me some more example of monocot plants, please. Okay, I'll give you. You keep drawing because if I take it out, some of them drawing will be disturbed. Okay, listen. Okay, Ziamase is a typical plant. What I given, you should write only this example. Okay, others are rice and all cereals come under that. Next is bamboo plant, sugarcane plant, right? And all the grasses are monocot plants. Got it? All of you? All grasses you get, no? Whatever you get, the grass on the ground, all are monocot plants. Lily plant, onions, garlic, all are monocot plants. Did you write? Onion and garlic and all monocot plants only, not the mustard. Mustard is a dicot plant. Okay. How you identify is, you cannot take every time root and see, no. You just see the leaf venation. If it is network like male inflorescence has male parts only, yes dear, I'll explain you that details later. Okay. Only stamens you will have in the male flower, and female flowers will have only the pistil. Okay. Just you write for the sake of plant, you are like, suppose I show one drawing of human being, then if I show some eyes and all, you will ask, where is the lens, man? You can't ask that. You will ask overall human being like it's looking. Morphology I am explaining. Okay. So details of the flower I'll explain you later when I start with the flowers. Okay. Because a lot of things are there in inflorescence, flowers and all. All are 5 mark questions too. Okay. Did you write, all of you? Finish writing? I think time up now, 6:15. Yeah. So from Wednesday onwards, the timetable may change. Just keep watching. Okay. Fine then. Have a nice time. Be safe. Take care. Okay. Enjoy the day. See you then. Bye bye. Bye dear. Bye dear. All 34 members are very nice today. See you. Bye bye. You all are liking the class? Did you like biology? Tell me now. Did you like biology? All of you. Are you liking biology? That to plants. Ma'am, a lot. Very good, Manisha. Thank you. You love biology. Even I love biology. I love you all. Because you're all very nice. See you there. Bye. Great, children. It is very interesting. I know it's really interesting. We'll have 2 years. Nice things we'll learn. How can we come over phobias? What phobia you have, dear Nikita? What phobia you have? Hydrophobia? Let me see. Tak anta answer ಮಾಡಿ. Let me see what phobia you have. Or I'll skip all the phobias. Hematophobia andreno? By blood you get scared. Huh? Nikita? Blood you get scared? Is that hematophobia? Dear of my own blood. Get scared of your own blood. Huh? When I start in the lab, no, you get fear. Okay. When you come to the lab, I will show you dissections and all, you will not fear later. Dissect some of the animals, then you will not fear. Okay. Because once you are into biology, medicine, you need not to get scared of anything. Your all body parts are very important for you. Okay, fine. See you then. Bye bye. Nice children. See you, bye. Okay, bye. Bye, 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 bye.